Never lose your way in your big RPG again with these really simple quest markers. They can be placed anywhere in your map and allows your player to move around freely and navigate towards which one they want to do, whether it's a side quest or a main quest. They're really simple to put in with only a couple of lines of code, so let's get started. So step one is to actually create the waypoints. Now this is done by just pressing insert new object, scrolling down to grab a sprite and calling it waypoint. I've already created these to save messing around with creating them in the video. And what I've got is I've got two animations. Animation one is sort of yellow, sort of simple design. And then we've got a blue design as well for sort of like side quests. What I've done is I've just then placed these around my map. So I've got two blue ones, one here, and then a yellow one down here being my main quest. Now what I want to do is actually make it so these are always on the screen, and then as I get close to the NPC that I want to talk to, instead of being on the edge of the screen, they go above the icon again. So to do this, I need to add some instance variables. So I'm going to right click and edit instance variables, and I only need two to get this working. I need a start X and a start Y. And this is going to tell our waypoint where the top of the NPC's head, or where this certain quest marker should be when I finally get into the area. Now we move to the game events, and we don't need many of these, we only need two. So the first one that we're going to need is on start of layout, so we're just going to scroll down and we're going to grab on start of layout. We're then going to grab our waypoint and we're just going to set those instance variables. So we'll start by setting the value of start X, and this is going to be set to waypoint X. So where we've set it on our map, we want to save that knowledge because we're going to move the waypoint all the way around the screen. So we want to save where it is initially. Once we've done that, we can copy and paste and just double click, and we're just going to change it to start Y and waypoint Y. That's our first event done. Let's have a look at our second event that we need today. Next is going to be a system requirement, and it's going to be every game tick. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set the position of the waypoint. So we're just going to scroll down, set position, and this is going to be waypoint dot start X and waypoint dot start Y. So resetting the position every single time so it's back above the NPC's head. We're also going to grab our waypoint, we're going to scroll down, and we're going to move it to the top of the layer. So final thing we need to do is take our waypoint and set it to its position we want it on the screen. So that's either going to be above our NPC or at the edge of the screen, pointing in the right direction. So for this, we're going to use the clamp function, which takes in a value, which is going to be at our waypoint.x, and then ask for a lower and an upper bound. To give you an example of this, let's say you're ordering something off Amazon, and Amazon only lets you order either up to 1 or 99 of an item. If you were to enter 150, it'll reset that to 99. If you were to enter -10, it would reset it to 1. So if you go above or below the minimum or maximum, it resets it to whatever you set the lower bound to or the upper bound to. And this is what we're going to use today. So we're going to start by taking the player's X position, and we're just going to start by minusing the viewport's width. This basically is checking for the left side of the screen, and when we do the viewport width, it's really important that in brackets we put 0, and then we're going to divide it by 2 because we want the left side of the screen. We're then going to also add the waypoint's width, and if we don't do this, we only get half the waypoint on the screen. This will put the full waypoint on the screen, and we want to divide this by 2 as well. We're then going to hit comma, and now we need to repeat it for the other side, so we're going to do player's X again. We're then going to add the viewport width this time, giving us the other side. And again, when you do the viewport width, we're just going to put 0 in brackets and then divide by 2. And then finally, instead of adding the waypoint width, we're going to minus the waypoint width. And again, this just ensures that our waypoint is on the screen at all times. And again, with our waypoint width, we need to divide that by 2. And that's it done for the X. Now what's really nice is once you've done that once, we can copy and paste and do the same for Y. However, we just need to change a couple of things. So first of all, any mention of X needs to become Y. So just take your time to go through. There should be 3 different instances of this, so change all 3. Next one, we also need to change any mention of width and change that to height. There's a few more of these, So just take your time to go through and make sure you spell height correctly. And again, once you've done that, we're pretty much at the end and we're ready to do our tests. So just got a couple more just to change. And then as you're doing this, please make sure you're going through it and just double checking your code. A small change in this code could cause this not to work. But we've got height, 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 and all Y's. So I'm going to hit done. I'm going to go back to my game and I want to add in a new waypoint. So I'm going to drag this, I'm going to put it in the trees. I can change the animation if I want this to be a side quest or I want this to be a main quest. I'm going to keep this as a main quest and I'm going to hit play. We'll full size this. And you can see we've got our 4 markers on the screen. Now if I start heading to the one in the trees, might need to navigate around these trees slightly, but you can see it's right there. I can go back to the one that I showed you at the start. So this one's just over here. And then if I was to go up to the top or to the side, I'd eventually get to my 2 side quest one. So it's a really, really simple system that allows you to navigate this map. And if you want to try this code out for yourself, a link to it will be in the description, as well as a link to my website where you can find more great tutorials. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.